Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Money Talks session of what we do every single week, where we are talking about building wealth and political power here with the New Frontier Action Team. Myself, I'm Rev Rob Johnson, and I'm excited to be your host. That you will spend just a little bit of time with us today, talking about all of this fun stuff. We know that we've been doing this for some weeks now, talking about a bunch of money, talking about how money works, how credit works, and all of that stuff. um, I do want to make sure that everybody knows you can get a lot of this material from our website at newfrontieraction.com. Newfrontieraction.com. You can go to that website. You can get a lot of this material, check out what we're doing. But also, I want to make the plea right now, right here today, that we need your support. We need you to make a donation so that we can continue to do this work every single day. If you want to see us continue this operation and continue what we're doing, continue our fighting in the community, continue us bringing you more topics like this, please consider making a donation today, whether it's $5, $1, $3, $20, $50, $100, whatever it is. Also, we have some events coming up on January 25th. We have an event with the DNC chair, that's the Democratic National Convention vice chair, Mr. Michael Blake, along with the former candidate for Secretary of State here in Iowa, Deidre DeGier. And so we're going to be having that on January 25th. We would love for you to purchase a ticket and be with us. That's our first major fundraiser of the year. And we would love for you to be there with us. And so thank you so much again for tuning in. I won't belabor the time because we got our money man, Mr. Stoy himself. What's up, Stoy?
How you doing, man? I'm good. Living. We're all dealing with a lot of things right now. You look good. Where are you at?
Man, listen, I'm in a secret location because after all of the stuff that happened, I'm just playing. Let me stop before people actually start sending us emails and stuff. But no, I'm actually at a church right now. I had a meeting up here, and in the background, it's some pretty cool pictures. So I picked this spot to kind of do our thing today. And so I won't be getting a haircut until my birthday. And so for people who was wondering what's up with the beard, it's not happening until January 21st. I turned 33 that day, so I won't be looking as crispy as you until after that day.
Yeah, I get it. I was about to pull that up. I was about to say something too. I really was. So wow. All right, 21st. Hey, everybody, Rob's getting, cleaned up on the 21st, so be there. But Rob, we were talking about off air of today's conversation about terms. I think it's a big deal. I want to make sure that we do this periodically between all our meetings because we use a lot of terms. You being from the financial services, we all talk in acronyms and what's this and what's that, and truly the regular public doesn't know. They don't know a lot of this. So we want to make sure to do that today, right?
That's exactly what we wanted to do, because I can tell people, hey, Stoy is a CFP. He has his own RIA. I could tell them he's a stockbroker or he does wealth management. He sell REITs. And half of the time, folks are like, oh, okay, that sounds good, but what exactly does all of this stuff really mean? Like, why do you have a comma with a CFP after your name? What did you do to get that? Like, did you go to college for that? Right? Like, so there's people really need to know exactly kind of what's up and what's going on. So I'm going to really kind of hand the next kind of 10 to 15 minutes off to you. You do your thing and kind of give us a little rundown on some terms that you hear every day that people may not have the opportunity to actually know what's up.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna break it down into like three areas. I'm gonna break it down into the advisor, what terms you're gonna see with an advisor or planner or whatever. Then what type of accounts you're gonna hear that you deal with every day, and then we'll get into some nitty-gritty with some investment stuff. So first part, advisors and what we're gonna be able to do there. Advisors, really, they are also name different things. CFP, for me, right? If you think of the CFP, you think of kind of like a doctorate, right? That is like the echelon of our industry, and what it stands for is Certified Financial Planner. And so with the CFP, that puts us above others. I used to not have my CFP. I was still a financial advisor. A registered representative is what we were called. Still able to do things, but not held to a standard or degree as a CFP. So that's a main reason I got mine. You'll see out there advisors calling themselves financial planners. They're not supposed to unless they have their CFP. So look into that, as well as that all corresponds into the fiduciary responsibility, right? Rob brings up fiduciary all the time. And fiduciary means we legally have to do what's in your best interest. CFPs, we're held to that standard at all times. So that's a huge one within the advisory world to look at. The others would be what type of licenses they have. I know this is getting detailed, but if they are only a Series 6 and 7 license and they don't have their 65, that 65 is that fiduciary one. That's the one you want to look for. The others are going to charge you a commission rate on your products, or anything that you invest in is going to have some percentage side to it, which is cool and it fits a lot of people. I just believe that fiduciary is in the best route. That's what you want to do. So some terms on advisors, that's what those are. Advisors can be representatives, registered representatives, and can sell life insurance and sell these insurances, but you want to look for a planner. You want to look for a true CFP or someone that at least has that 65 and uses that. They'll take care of you the most. Or just come to us at Black Mesa. I mean, it makes it a lot easier for you. The next piece are some accounts that you're going to run into. So let's think about employment. You hear the terms 401k, healthcare, but also there's like this HSA thing in there. You've got your disabilities, which you're going to see like STD, short-term disability, or long-term disability. And no, Rob, not that STD. You're going to see those terms in there. And to break those down pretty easily, your 401k is your retirement plan. A lot of people think that the 401k is owned by the business and they can do whatever they want with your investment. That's not true. There's an advisor inside that 401k trying to take care of your investments. So a route to do with your 401k, if you can cash flow, most 401ks, they'll have a match, right? 3%, 5%, 2%. Always do the match because that's free money right there. But that's one term. Some of you might be working somewhere that your retirement is a 401k. It's a 459 if you're in the government, 403b if you're a teacher, SEP IRA or simple IRA if you're at a small employment firm. Those are all the same. They all run very much the same. Those are retirement plans, and all they are is accounts. They're not the vehicles, which we'll get to in a little bit. Those are accounts. So they're just different types of retirement accounts with some fancy names and numbers tied to them. But truly, they're a retirement account for you, the employee, within whatever type of business that you're in. Healthcare, that's a big one. And I'm sure that we're going to have a deep dive in conversation about healthcare. But the healthcare, there's really two options for you. You're going to find a normal plan with co-payment and co-insurance, which we're all used to and we all grew up with. Or you're going to find one that says HDHP or HSA. HDHP means high deductible health plan. HSA means health savings account. Those are one and the same. We utilize them a lot because for a business owner or someone who doesn't have as much medical things or health care things come up, HSAs are really great because you can invest that money into the market. You get to deduct some of your contributions into your HSA, and then it's just a debit card, right? That's essentially what it is. I have a debit card. That's my HSA card. I need to go buy ibuprofen. I need to go buy my drugs. I need to go see my therapist. Whatever it is, I get to use my card to do so. And now I'm a little more in control of what's being spent as opposed to kicking it off to insurance and hoping that it all gets covered. Now you can understand what your costs are. Otherwise, you have your other plans, your co-pays and your co-insurance. Co-paying being a dollar figure, right? It's $50 every time I go see the doctor. Co-insurance being a percentage, 20% every time I go see the doctor. Those will be terms that you see in the healthcare side. The short-term disability and long-term disability, I'm actually really excited because a lot of people get this one confused. The short-term disability, a little acronym for that is maternity. Maternity is short-term. That's the one where you get 6 weeks or something like that to cover your short-term of your disability. But in America, the short-term disability is truly maternity, maternity coverage, not paternity, but maternity. For most locations, that's what the short-term is going to be for. It's also going to be for not only like that first week, it's going to probably cover you through a few months. And then that's when your long-term disability kicks in, right? That's the one that takes you from 6 months to multiple years. And those are the huge terms, are the main terms that you're going to see within your employment. You see those at all, Rob? Those terms kicked around employment? I mean, you're self-employed now, but you were one of those peons, right?
Absolutely, man. We see this stuff all the time, man. Like, let me ask you this question. Life insurance, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, life insurance is exactly what it is. It's to insure your life. We all die, right? I mean, that's one thing that I can guarantee you. I don't say guarantees a lot because it gets me in trouble. I don't want the SEC after me. But what guarantees is you're going to die at some point. I promise you that. And life insurance is for that situation. It is for when you pass, you now get to leave money to your family, and now you have this legacy that you can do. Now, there's a lot of different ways to use it, but simply put, life insurance. When I die, my family gets money.
Annuities, what is that?
Annuities. Annuity can be different types of vehicles, but an annuity in itself is a tax-deferred growth vehicle. And when I mean tax deferred, I mean you're not paying taxes every year on it. It's paying taxes when you go to pull the money out. Inside that annuity, why they call it an annuity is because at the end of it, you can annuitize your money. And all that is simply putting is I'm now getting a monthly payment out of my money as opposed to having this chunk of money. So inside of annuity in the tax plan that's tax deferred. It's really good. And then later it's designed to annuitize, meaning it pays you out a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life.
Stocks, what are those?
Stocks, own companies, right? But the hot one right now is Tesla. Everyone's like, hey, let me invest in Tesla. Well, Tesla is a company and you can buy stock in that company. Some you can buy all their shares, some you can buy one share. But a stock in itself is giving you ownership into a company. You typically get, if that stock goes from $1 a share to $10 a share and you sell it, you just made $9 a share, really. But others, you can hang on to that ownership. It gives you rights. If you own that stock, guess what? You get a vote who's on the board. You have other types of voting opportunities, but it is true ownership in that company, however many shares you have of it. And that could be local companies. It could be giant companies. They all have stock somewhere.
Hey, man, thank you so much for this. This has been pretty amazing. Last question, bonds.
Oh, bonds. Don't get me started on bonds. It's debt. It's debt to the company. Instead of owning the company, they owe you money, right? In theory, as simply as put, they owe you money for giving them money to loan out. Some people would think like a note, right? Some type of loan. That's as simply put of what a bond is. So I don't do a lot of bonds. We don't mess around with a lot of bonds. Bonds lately have not been very good overall either. And the reason for that is interest rates, right? We all know the interest rates everywhere are zero. I just saw a mortgage the other day at 1.99%, which was kind of crazy. But that's why bonds are cheap, is because they can't pay you enough interest to give them enough money. If I was to loan you money and you're like, I'll give you 1.99%, well, I'd rather take my money and go invest it somewhere else and get 6%, like real estate can get you, or something like that.
Well, hey, Stoy, thanks for spending some lunchtime minutes and hours with us, man. I appreciate that. Any final thoughts before we head out?
Next week, taxes. I promise you, taxes. Next week we'll start with individual taxes, and then we'll move into business taxes on the next week, but I think it's a really big opportunity for everyone to really hone in and truly understand what's going on with your taxes or some ideas that you can do to improve your tax situation. I know we'll hit up talking about dependents again, like we've done almost every week, but those will be the topics coming down the next 2 weeks.
Hey, thanks so much. Everybody, check out Black Mammoth. My boy Stoy Hall, he is a CFP, a fiduciary. He literally just walked you through those terms. Thanks so much, Mr. Stoy Hall. I'll see you next week, brother.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, please visit newfrontieraction.com. Newfrontieraction.com. We would love for you to be a part of our team. Join our email list. Make a donation today, whether it's $1, $5, $3, $7, $8, $100, however much. Make a donation today so that we can continue to do this work and continue to push out this stuff. I'm excited. Again, don't forget, January 25th, we have our major first fundraiser featuring Mr. Michael Blake, who is the vice chair of the DNC, that's the Democratic National Convention, along with the former candidate for Secretary of State here in Iowa, Ms. Deidre DeGier, the history maker herself. So please join us. We're going to have Eddie Morrow, Mark, Al, Rob. We're going to have a bunch of people on there. So please join us as we continue to try and push these efforts through. Again, thanks for tuning in during your lunchtime. Just a little bit of break here as we talk about money. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.